has this session, not this session, but this campaign been called Bird Brains?
For a while.
What?
Why
It's
have I never known?
it's not called bird brains. What do you mean? It
That's
can
what
be.
no, it is though. If you that's what the D&D Beyond campaign
Oh.
is called.
I don't even
It,
remember naming it that. That surprises me too. Unless someone else did it, but I guess I must
I
have.
felt a bit insulted when I saw this.
I'm sorry, I'll change it. What do you want to change it to?
No, it's a very fitting name. I just
Uh,
didn't expect it.
yeah, I don't even remember naming it that. That's funny. Well, welcome. Hope y'all ready
I've
for this.
decided I'm not going to stream today.
Okay,
Oh,
that
cool.
is your prerogative. I do like your suggestion, Ray, about having music I can control in the background. I'll see if I can whip something up, even though I did not plan ahead and forgot about that until just this moment. So,
Here, I'll give you some environmental music.
well, I was going to share Tailspire and use that. If you've got better, that's fine, but it would be harder for me to navigate like some playlist and find music that I haven't heard before that I am willing to just randomly
I'll
trust.
just send you battle music if you need battle music. How about that?
Okay, I don't know if I mean, I have no idea what's gonna
That's
happen.
most
We
of the
might.
D&D music that I have.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, usually battles happen. We've had a couple sessions of rest because of that, like, long cult battle we had. Didn't want to have a one-note campaign. Let's see. I really don't know what to share. We'll just share that for now. Share screen. Kabloink. Just ignore whatever you're about to witness. That's something entirely different.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
I'm just gonna steal this for the music. Actually, maybe I should use a different board for the music real quick. Hmm. Ah yes, I definitely have a bunch. We shall go to the one that's just called testing. Clearly that one doesn't have any important music. So we're waiting on Cat.
Like last time.
Well, she is aware this time
Yep,
that it's
that's good.
happening.
That's good. And she said 2 minutes at 8 o'clock, and now it's 8:03. So I guess we're waiting on her for 1 minute. Let's see. We're just gonna go with.
So, did the monkey get any rest from yesterday's two D&Ds back to back?
I mean, I had work, and then I had like an hour to relax, and now I have this. After having gone to the grocery store, of course. So yeah,
As
I
that
don't
is
know.
a given.
We're just gonna go with the classic, and then like the warm hearth. Wait, is that not a? Okay, I forgot what it was called. I guess. Could have sworn there was one that was like fire crackling. Works for me. That might be too loud, actually.
It could be down slightly.
Okay, well you can turn down the volume of everything
Uh-huh.
overall on your own
Yeah.
end by changing the stream.
Yeah.
But I was just meaning the birds were louder than the music. Balance was off.
Okay.
Well, this should be fun. I don't know what's gonna happen. Truly, I have no idea. Oh, I should have looked back at something we did in a previous session to refresh my mind. My memory. If I could get a full mind reset, that would be... Whew. Cat,
Hello.
you are here.
Hello.
Greetings and welcome, and then such as things as that.
I am here.
Indeed, welcome Ananias or Valerie.
Yes, interesting that I happened to, you know, not exist last session. How peculiar.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
Well, you still existed. It's just you didn't do anything.
Well, no. That's what today is for.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then you exist in last session today.
I exist in last session today.
Hmm.
Oh, that hurts my brain, but yes, technically he's not wrong. Alrighty, well, are we excited for another... Wait. I was gonna say another exciting episode of D&D, and then I just said, are you excited for it? And then I was like, heck, I've ruined my
Are you
entire
excited
intro.
for another?
I'm excited
and another.
for yes.
And another.
Awesome.
Can I have another one?
Another one.
And another.
Does anyone want to give Kat a recap of what she missed last session, even though it didn't involve her character?
Everything.
If it didn't involve me, it doesn't concern me.
Okay,
Okay.
well, fair enough. I like the cult robe, very nice.
Nice.
Alrighty, well, in our last exciting episode of D&D, Qzeth and Mama Swizzle decided to hit the hay after talking a bit more with the Swinfords and Shadow. Qzeth decided to go and send a message to an old contact of his, asking him for help, calling in a favor.
Of course, it couldn't be straightforward though.
Well, he's a criminal dude, and he's in a weird, like, he's far away, so you had to send a message to him, but by normal means may not have worked, so your original thought was to go to the criminal underground and hope to send a message through them, and the course of the conversation turned sour, so it very nearly came to blows, but you managed to escape without it coming to violence, and you decided to send
And
a
I just go
much
to the
cheaper
post
message.
office.
Yeah, at
I
the
just go to the post office and
Owlery.
they're like, we'll do it for like 100th the price.
Yeah. Long story short, he sent his message telling his contact to meet him at New Thunder Tree in a day, assuming that they could make it there at that time. At the same time, Carmen was doing stuff. Aw, the cat. Aw. That's cute. It was like, hello, how are you? Pat pat. Anyway, Carmen was meeting with Lady Lillian and was told that some dramatic things had happened and they were having struggles with their neighboring kingdom of Dirth. They were seemingly on the verge of war due to some messengers being carved up and returned in boxes, along with some notes for ransom and such. But Lady Lillian thinks there might be more to the story. Meanwhile, Ananias and Carmen's sister were left alone in Carmen's mother's chambers to get up to some shenanigans, which we will find out about today. I am excited to see what happens there. But let's go ahead and start with Qzeth and Mama Swizzle, who are waking up on a fine autumn morning. The sun beginning to stream through the windows of the Swinford mansion that you guys decided to stay in, and you are planning on traveling to the town of New Thunder Tree over the course of this day.
Mama Swizzle.
So we've just woken up.
Yep.
I think
The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, there's like a
Mhm.
little band going on in our ears, apparently, if you're watching the stream.
When Qzeth wakes up, he finds Mama Swizzle's just like hugging his leg while just snoring.
Cute. Qzeth, nudges Mama Swizzle, moves his leg slightly. Mama Swizzle, wake up. Mama Swizzle, and jostles Mama Swizzle a little bit more.
Mama Swizzle.
Yeah, I know, it's... Good morning. We're gonna have to hit the road soon. Do you have anything that you need to pack?
Mama Swizzle groggily gets up and just starts packing her normal stuff into her little knapsack that she throws over her shoulder.
QZ's gonna get up as well and check on Shadow, see if they're awake.
Hi, Cat.
Are we streaming anywhere?
No.
Nah, I'm not streaming this week.
Okay.
And yet Ray still doesn't have his camera on for us.
He doesn't have.
Do you want to see me shirtless?
Oh, I thought you said you didn't have a webcam anymore, Ray. Did you not?
I don't. I don't. It's fried.
Gotcha. Well, no, I'm good.
Why would you fry? That's not food.
I've seen you shirtless before, Ray. I'm good. Never again. Sorry, what were you saying, QZ?
Yeah, I'm just gonna check on Shadow, see if they're awake.
Okay. Yeah, you come up to his room and give a sharp knock on the door with your knuckles, and you hear a grunt from outside or inside the room, and then some creaks of the floorboards as he steps towards the door and opens it. You see him already geared up and ready to go, full armor. You're not sure if he even took it off during the night. He just looks down at you.
Great. Good to see that you're ready to go. We'll be leaving shortly. QZ probably didn't unpack much at all, so he mostly just needs to grab his bag, maybe throw on a change of clothing, and then we'll be ready to go.
Fair enough. Very well. You gonna
So
take time for breakfast or anything, or just go?
no, we need to just rush, I think, because
enough.
it's
I'm probably nibbling on nuts along the way.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, you can make
alright, I
a
say to
survival
Shadow
check
before
as
I
you're
walk
going
over.
through the forest as well. See if you notice anything tasty.
Yeah. I say to Shadow before I walk away. Well, I guess meet us down at the front entrance, and we'll head out as soon as possible.
He just nods in agreement, and then he just leaves the room, walks right out of his room and down the hallway. Seems he was already ready.
QZ kind of like stands there for a second and is like, realizing that he's like the last to be finished packing, which he doesn't like. So he just kind of like rushes back and like changes quickly.
Fair enough. Okie dokie. Well, once you finish that, Mama Swizzle, as you are getting ready and putting your few belongings back into your little pack and slinging it over your shoulder, you look down at your hand and feel it kind of crack a little more than you're used to, even amongst all your creaky joints and bones or whatever. You look down at your hand, and that one finger that was stone has now turned to two fingers that are stone, with the little squirrel flap as well becoming a little more petrified. You can still bend them, but you now have two stone fingers.
Mama Swizzle.
That's what happens when you're a stoner.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
I take out my peace pipe.
Okay, sure. That is entirely different, but whatever. When you decide to make your way down the stairs towards the main entrance, as you're preparing to leave, you find Shadow already there. Mama Swizzle, you meet QZ on the stairs, I assume?
Yeah, QZ is kind of like running down. He's like, oh, Mom Swizzle, great. Not the last person. I told Shadow to meet us down at the entrance. Are you ready to go?
Mama Swizzle nods.
Awesome. Well, we'll be on our way.
As you
Yes,
hear her
say-
step down the last step, you can hear her bones creak.
Do I notice the stone fingies?
I mean, if
I
you're...
don't know if I even noticed the first one.
If you're being observant, yeah, you would notice it. It's like a bright gray color in comparison to her black feathers, so it does kind of stand out like a sore
Well, I'm
thumb.
not gonna be rolling any perception, so
Stone thumb.
if it's not something that I would notice passively, then
I think you
just
would
saying.
notice passively if you're paying, like, it just depends on
yeah,
how
I'm not
much you're paying
super
attention to
close
your...
attention.
Yeah.
I don't think QZ is. He's kind of more focused on other things.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you're in low power
Um,
mode, like, just woke up, then yeah, you might not notice it.
And also, Mama Swizzle's trying to hide it,
Okay,
actively
cool.
hide it under her
Cool.
cloak.
It's just my hands
like
are cold.
Yeah, basically.
Just embarrassed. It's okay. We all get stone fingers once in a while, you know.
Yikes! I didn't realize this was a common condition.
Mm-hmm.
So you make your way down
You
the
know.
stairs, and you smell something coming from the kitchen. Smells like bacon, meat, not sure, something like that. Perhaps sausages.
Mama Swizzle.
Yeah, it smells good, Mama Swizzle, but we really can't hang around too long. I guess we'll just say bye to the Swinfords and maybe grab a little bite to eat while we start our journey.
Mama Swizzle.
So gives you the walk to the kitchen.
You find the butler in the kitchen. He's busy, like, sizzling a hot pan full of a whole roll of sausages, like the chain of sausages kind of thing. He's
Links.
baking that in the
Yeah.
pan in a bit of oil. He turns to you. Oh, hello there, Master. I don't believe I've caught your name. Would you care for some breakfast?
Just a to-go box, if you can.
A what?
Where are the Swinfords?
They should be. Well, I believe Mr. Swinford said something about the rift seems safe for now, but you can't be too careful, and he left pretty much as soon as he awoke to go and begin working on the seal for the whatever happened in the town square that night. Miss Swinford should be in the dining room waiting for the meal.
I see. Well, we really have to hit the road. You can tell Mr. Swinford, we say goodbye and thank you. I'll see my way out after saying goodbye to Mrs. Swinford.
I shall relay your message. You say you desire some sustenance for your journey.
To-go box, please.
I don't know
to-go
what
box,
a to-go box is, but I can put this in a box, and I see the concept now. So he quickly finds a little wooden box for you, and he dumps the sausages in. Just like it, you can feel it kind of hurts him to like put this
Aw.
greasy meat in a like nice polished wooden box. Is like, oh, that's gonna ruin it, but he hands it to you. And he's like, I'm not sure what the point of the box was, but I hope you enjoy it.
Well, it
nonetheless."
didn't actually have to be. It could have been a bag or anything else. A napkin.
I live to serve.
Thank you.
I will get to work on making some more. And he
Mama
goes and-
Swizzle walks up to him and raises her hand like a child wanting to be lifted up.
What are you? My hands are preparing for food. I don't.
Come on, Mama Swizzle. I'll share mine with you. Don't.
Mama Swizzle.
Walk
He'll
to the
just kind
dining
of like
room.
try to give you a head pat with his elbow. Well, I wish you and your companion luck on your journey.
Thank you.
And then he goes into
I
a cellar
appreciate that.
to get more food.
More mood?
More food.
That's a
He is
mood.
very edgy.
All right. So yeah, I'll go to the dining room quickly.
You find Miss Swinford sitting there. She's poring over some manuscript. Looks like an old scroll that's kind of tattered and dissolving in some places where it's seen too many years of wear. She's got a thin pair of spectacles on as well. She looks up as you enter. Oh, greetings, dears. I see that you're off.
Mama
Yes,
Swizzle.
Exactly.
Take that as a
We'll-
yes.
We'll be leaving shortly. Shadow's waiting at the door for us. Thank you for everything. If Well, I'll try and send word back about our journey when I can.
You'd better, we're gonna assume the
But-
worst. Take care of yourselves
Well-
out there.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll all be fine.
Yep, and don't hesitate to call if you need help. We are
Ah,
available for that purpose.
right. Yes, what is it? A rock, right?
Yeah, it's
a
ascending
talking
stone.
rock.
Mhm.
Yeah, Hughes had forgotten about it. I just didn't remember if it was a rock.
Gotcha.
Right. The stone. I
Yes,
almost
don't
forgot.
lose it.
QZ like quickly runs back upstairs.
Wow, okay. She'll just kind of look aghast for a moment, then go back to her paper. I wish I could make more conversation with you, small one, but unfortunately I don't understand your dialect.
Mama Swizzle. I'd like to use Druidcraft to make it smell like flowers in the room.
Oh, I'd like that. Oh, I need you around more often. This place has been a wreck since the maid went crazy.
Mama Swizzle.
What kind of Mama Swizzle was that? EJ couldn't tell.
It was flattered.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, yes, if you ever need a job, after whatever all this is, we'd be more than happy to have you around.
Mama Swizzle.
I'll take that as a yes, a tentative yes.
Mama Swizzle.
At about this moment, QZ comes tromping down the stairs again with the stone.
Got it right here. Drops and catches it. See, I would never forget it.
Yep, I can tell. It's in good hands with you. Well, good luck. Be safe and make sure you bring enough supplies on your journey.
Thank you. And QZ kind of takes Mama Swizzle's hand and walks to meet with Shadow.
She also says one last thing as you're going. Oh, one more thing. Watch your back around that Dragonborn. I don't like the way he looks. The way he
Mama
looks at you
Swizzle.
and the way he looks in general. He doesn't seem fully on board. I don't know.
I don't think Shadow would betray us. It really seems like he has nothing else to do, so...
Well, keep in mind he was trying to cause whatever happened to the city. Who's to say he's not trying to keep it ruined or
That
worse?
was the past, and people can change.
Well, I hope that's the case. If you're wrong about him, you might not live to regret it. So just be careful, alright?
Mama
made it
Swizzle
this
just
far.
flexes her muscles at that point.
Yes, the little one will take care of you.
Yeah, and we walk out.
Very well. You meet Shadow by the door. He's just got his arms crossed. What took you so long?
Mama Swizzle.
I was grabbing us a quick breakfast, to-go box.
Ah, I see. I hope it's meat.
I think it is. Make sure Mama Swizzle gets some, but help yourself. And I hand the box over.
He just kind of opens it up. You see a slight smile, which is more than you've ever seen before on this guy. But he quickly kind of stifles it and closes
Friendship
the
arc.
box
Friendship arc.
again. We'll see. Alrighty. And with that, you guys set on your journey on the long road to New Thunder Tree. With that, let's go ahead and move to Cat for a bit. Ananias. We last left with you and Isabella staring at each other, and Isabella turned to you immediately after Carmen left and said, So what kind of shenanigans do you want to get up
You're muted.
to?
And what I said was, teach me that spell.
Oh, the modify memory spell. Gotcha. She grins and goes, "Okay, can't tell Carmen. We're," and she looks to her mother too. Maybe we should go out and, you know, have some fun. Her mother just kind of rolls her eyes. Go play. Don't do anything dangerous. Don't get in trouble again. And then before you leave, her mother kind of calls you over. Valerie, I know I don't really know you and I don't know the situation, but if my daughter trusts you, then so do I. If you need a family, consider this yours. You're welcome to stay as long as you need. Awkward smile. Okay.
About friendship arc.
Yeah, you can see in her eyes she's kind of like studying curiously, but there's like a kind of deep hurt as well. Some kind of other thought process going on in the background as well. And then she waves you off. Isabella gladly leads you out.
Are we going to the book room
The book room.
with
Yeah.
lots of books?
Yep.
I don't know. You have to check if it's booked or not.
She kind of reaches out her hand to you to like lead you excitedly, like a even smaller child than she is.
Okay, let's go.
She kind of like drags you down the passageway towards the library, and very quickly leads you to her secret stash, where she has like a little nook by a window looking out over the wheat fields. And
I might have to go early too, by the way, EJ.
Okay, that's fine. So she leads you
Okay.
to a nestled nook with some cushions on a seat overlooking the wheat fields, and there's like books all around, but she's got inside one of these cushions, she's got a little secret stash of a couple books, which she withdraws after the whole conversation of, we're on board with this, right? You're not going to reveal this to Carmen?
My mouth is closed on this topic.
Swear on it. It's a pinky swear. Do you know how to... Here.
Okay.
She does the thing. Yeah, it's like that, and then you can't break your promise. It doesn't really change
Right.
anything, but it means something. Anyway, so she pulls out the book, and you both begin to study it. So I haven't mastered the spell yet, nor am I anywhere close, but I'm working on it, and it looks fun. So someday, we're gonna have so many shenanigans with this. So she's like trying to walk you through it, and if you'd like, you can even take out a piece of paper and copy this down so you can learn it later.
I would love to take out a piece of paper and copy this down.
Ooh, wow, you got a fancy notebook too. Very cool.
Yes, let me just put my bag of miscellaneous dice and herbs next to me.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Get out my ink pen.
Let's see.
What do they use in this world? Do they use ink?
Yes, they use inkwells, quills, and parchment. Sometimes paper as well. This world is getting up there. There's also some pens, but they're kind of rare and niche. Because you mean, why use a fancy device when you can just still use a quill at this point?
All right.
Let's see.
What should I write down? What do I see on the piece of paper?
You see a bunch of like symbols and runes, hand gestures. It's a very complicated spell. It seems to be 5th level, which is a bit more and more powerful than you've cast before. Just knowing what you've been taught by the Wanderer and his magic book. So it seems
Yes,
like
fifth
it'll take
level.
you some time to really like grasp the intricacies of it and learn to master it. But it does show you pretty much the same stuff that you've been figuring out with your newfound power. That like gives you the ability to kind of feel the weave and push past these invisible magic tendrils that permeate the world.
All right, I write down everything and draw little pictures that I see.
Mhm.
As someone who is a changeling, I feel like I can accurately represent the pictures because you gotta kind of study something, right, to get the gist of what it looks like.
Sure.
Okay,
Roll me
so I
performance just
write
to.
it down. What would the spell name be? What does it say in there?
It is called Modify Memory.
Okay, cool.
There's also like a good number of warnings at the top, like do not use this for such purposes that would, compromise the safety, blah 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 blah. All the jibble jabble that you don't care about when you're trying to get into trouble.
So, what does the front of this book look like?
It is a black book with like some trees and vine tendrils across the front. It looks to be a book that, Isabella probably shouldn't have. Nevertheless, it's not like...
Is this yours?
Well, no. I borrowed it from an old friend.
Wow, it's very generous of them to let you.
Yeah.
Is there more than this in here? And where does the spell fall? Is it like halfway through the book, or where is it?
It's
is it
about
near the
halfway-
front?
It's about halfway through.
Okay.
She goes, yeah, there's probably more books like this, but not that I can get access to yet.
Are you training to be
I'm
a
training
wizard?
to be a cleric, but wizard's been kind of more my style, so I'm still on the fence about it. Training to be a cleric, but I'd like to learn some more spells that, let me get up to mischief. What about you? What do you study? Or are you studying magic?
Yeah. Where I'm from, there are books. Yeah.
Oh wow, what kind of
And-
books? Are they like big history books or like magic books? I like to read, so.
They're definitely mostly magic books. Not too much interesting in them though. Nothing of this sort. Can I flip through the pages? I start flipping through the pages.
Yeah, sure.
I go to the very last page. What's on it, EJ?
Oh boy, let's find out. 1 second. Oh boy. 1 second. Wow, my internet's really slow. It's not loading. Okay, there we go. You see...
Oh, because you're sharing screen.
You see a spell called Finger of Death.
Oh, what does it say about Finger of Death?
It says it allows you to send negative energy coursing through a target, causing it searing pain. Isabella kind of looks at that spell and goes, yeah, that one's a little past mischief and more into just violence, so I try to stay away from those kind of spells. But if you want to get the good stuff, you got to take a little bit of the bad in the book. What was that? Is it your cat meowing? Oh, that's adorable. I was hearing a squeaky
She doesn't
noise.
meow, she screams.
Are you writing down about the Finger of Death too? Is that what you're...
What level is it? But yes, I did write it down.
7th level?
I wrote it down.
Oh boy, okay. It'll take you a bit before you are... I mean, you could definitely practice this and try to work on, building your way up to it, but it is a complicated spell. It's the most complicated one you've seen thus far as like how many hand gestures you have to do and what way you must manipulate the weave in order to release the proper effect. It's a lot more intricate and more potential for things to go wrong should you get it incorrect, but at least you're learning and gaining more insight into how spellcasting in general works, considering you're pretty much self-taught, but a little bit of guidance from the creepy dude who gave you your powers.
That's fair. Alright. Do you have a favorite spell in here?
Let's see. Charm Person's a good classic. She flips
Charm
the pages
Person?
back towards the beginning. Yeah, there's a spell called Charm Person. Let me find that real quick.
I totally, as a EJ.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain that that's a spell. I know that that's a spell.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just figuring out what level it is in case you ask, because you asked about the other two.
It's like a first level spell.
Yeah, I think it is. It's pretty low level, but it's a good classic. Okay.
Did you use that on me?
No, no. I only use it when I want to get into trouble. I don't need to charm people who I just think are fun. Then I just use my natural charm. And of course.
I want to get both of those.
Well, I think you've already got one down.
The magic wand? Yes.
That was silly. Well, if we're gonna be partners in crime, I should probably show you some of my other haunts as well, huh? Unless you're a trap. You're not a cop, are you?
A trap?
Yeah, you're not sent by my sister to find out all my secrets, are you?
I have secrets of my own.
Oh, like what? Do any of them involve boys?
No.
Good, then they're the interesting kind.
Okay. Let's go to these haunts.
Okay, I have one that I really like to go to. She looks left and right in the library, making sure there's no one around, and then shoves the book back into the upholstery of this particular seat. And then she begins leading you a different direction through the palace. She leads you out the palace doors, and you re-enter the large expanse of the outside world in the big crater surrounded by mountainous walls that form the outside ring of Lunimus. And once again, you are hit by the just aura of enchantment magic that permeates this entire area like a weight on your chest. It almost feels similar to that cave you were in, where it grew stronger and stronger the deeper you went into the cave towards that source of magical power. It feels similar in the sense that there's like more powerful magic and thicker strands of the weave that you're passing through as you approach the center of town.
Interesting.
So,
It feels heavy around here.
Heavy? What do you mean? Oh, are you talking about the protection enchantment on the whole, like, the whole sky? The whole kingdom, I guess?
Oh. I hadn't realized that there was such a thing. Does it start here?
Well, it's around the whole kingdom, but some people, I guess, I'm used to it, so I don't really notice it anymore, but some people complain about it when they first get here. They say it feels like they're underwater or it's harder to breathe or something, but I'm used to it. I guess I got strong lungs.
That is definitely useful for being underwater.
Yeah, well, now that you say that, I guess it wouldn't be helpful to have strong lungs if you were underwater, because you'd just die faster, but... As you're walking through the town, you're passing people, and since you don't look as creepy anymore, and you're not riding a big black horse or anything, no one's really paying you too much mind. No one's giving you the weird stares that they may have been doing so before. And also Isabella's with you, and they've seen Isabella's face around enough times to know. Plus, you look very similar to her. You literally could be her sister in terms of appearance. So, yeah, they just, nobody really pays you mind. Some people give you small waves and a smile as they're going about their day-to-day activities, bringing things from here to there, doing errands, practicing enchantments. One person's on the streets just kind of playing some music with some magical array of instruments. He's got like little xylophone that he's got two, whatever they are, little mallets in his hands, and then two more are magically kind of bonking beside him, helping him to create a tune that he couldn't create with just two hands. Isabella asks you as you're going, so, where are you from?
I am from... Great question. I wish I could tell you in your language.
Oh, you speak a different language?
Yeah.
What's your home language?
I wish I knew the name. Give me a second. Let me pull up my character sheet so I can tell you. um. Well, I don't see my languages on my character sheet. However, I do know that I was raised in a forest.
Okay.
My tribe was with me. They kept me pretty safe. We stayed within the trees, and we didn't interact with humans ever.
Oh.
I got separated from them when I was young. Young, probably. These adolescents were around. I point to a couple like 6-year-olds who are playing in the square, they're doing hop, skip and jump, with the squares or
Hopscotch.
hexagons, as in they're doing hexagon.
Hopscotch.
Hexagon
Hexscotch.
hopscotch.
Hexscotch.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it.
so they're all playing hexscotch.
And it also
Yeah,
works because it's probably magically enhanced in some way.
I would have been around their age. I don't remember too much. I just remember that from then on I learned to get by on my own. And
You lost your family when you were like that young? That's terrible.
well, I got by it, and now I can do cool things with magic. And I let out little tiny sparks from my hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See? And I seem extremely proud of it.
Is there
like,
is there a spell that you're using for that, or are you just kind of doing that you're making it up, like you're just trying to do something?
I'm doing what I did for I think it was Eldritch Blast was one of the first ones I learned. So I'm doing like as small, like a tiny,
like baby
tiny,
Eldritch
tiny,
blasting?
yeah, like a very baby one.
Okay. Roll me a d100.
Oh crap! Here we
Roll
go.
for destroying the
Wait,
palace.
I don't have a D100 on me, do I?
Do you have a
Give me a
d10?
second. Yeah, does that count?
Yeah, just roll it twice.
Okay, for the first and second number.
Yeah. More or less.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna use my blue ones.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you do have 2. Nice. I can't read
What
it.
is that? It says 1 and 0, 0.
That would be a 100, I think. Wait, no, that would be a 10? Pumpkin, help me out. I think 0 and 0,
The
0
numbers
is
were
100.
what?
1 and 0, 0.
Yeah, that would be
1
a 10,
and
wouldn't it?
0, 0.
I'm pretty sure that would be a 10.
Yes, that would be a 10.
Gotcha. Okay.
So 11. Or 101.
No, because the number 1 is the one or the first
Yeah,
place.
is the 10th place.
Yeah.
So it's still a 100?
No. The one's the percentile dice, and one's the. I can't even brain right now. Yeah. Anyway, so you attempt to do like a mini version of Eldritch Blast, and it doesn't make little sparks or little sparkles. It instead just kind of creates like a sound, like you feel it in your chest, kind of like vibration, and you can see a distortion in the air as it kind of vibrates the area around and makes some pots and pans on nearby stands kind of wiggle. And you also see a glass pathway high above your heads, like 20 feet above, that's crisscrossing above the street, kind of wobble, 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 rattling the metal fixtures upon it. You, I assume, let it go before it causes any significant
I let
damage.
it go before it causes any, and I look a little guilty, like, oh.
Whoa, what was that?
Actually,
What kind of magic
It was
do you practice?
supposed to
Is
be fireworks.
Oh, I see. Do you need some practice? Is that? It's okay if you're still learning. I am too. Are you a druid then? Because you grew up in the forest?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's cool. I have never had a druid friend before, let alone a druid sister. We're coming
EJ,
up.
she actually rolled a 1, by the way,
Oh,
not a 10.
well, yeah, that's. I was going. Okay. I was gonna say if I'd known that it was that bad, I would have maybe caused some damage, but you know.
Do you
Well,
want
no,
to?
we're not gonna backtrack. It's good enough because it wasn't supposed to be all that powerful anyway. If you were just doing like
It
lowest
wasn't
power
good.
level, yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're sticking with what happened. So she goes, "This is the place." And she looks back and forth a little bit, and then leads you into a little alley where there's like a bunch of sacks of grain stacked up with barely any space to squeeze through these two buildings and go somewhere creepy. I've been in this town my whole life, so I've found all the little nooks and crannies that everyone forgets about. You don't mind climbing on weird stuff, do you?
No, let's do it.
Okay. And she continues climbing, lifting herself up across the metal decorations, the like ornate. They're really just like the fancy twirls and stuff that you see like on metal benches and stuff, but they're on the outside of buildings like the facade. And she just begins to like spider monkey her way across the buildings like she's done 100 times, as you can tell. You can see even some parts where the metal plating has kind of worn away, revealing some rusty metal underneath just because of the number of times she's apparently used the same handholds. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity check as you follow her like climbing basically between these two buildings, very teeny alley, climbing your way up to somewhere you probably aren't meant to be.
Oh, oof. Let's see. So it's a nat 3
Oh no.
plus 3. So I got a 6.
Yeah, you struggle. You have a really rough time. You maybe even fall at one point and have to
Oof.
like climb your way back up. But Isabella reaches her hand out and tries to help you. She's got a good grip. It's really rock climbing. I didn't even think about that, but it's just rock climbing all over again, except you don't have any safety. It's okay. We're almost at the top.
Okay.
Once we get around this corner, there's a glass pathway. Here, you go first. She tries to offer you a hand to help you.
Okay.
So, yeah, she helps lift you up, and as soon as you kind of reach around the corner, you find like a large slab of glass, maybe a foot thick, that's just kind of distorting the light a little bit and creating reflections that kind of scatter across the sides of the buildings and across the street below.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah, there's metal railways, banisters that also are there to help you grab onto, so if you want to clamber your way up, you're easily able to, now that you've got this lovely monkey bars to go on. Isabella follows you quickly after, and you both take a brief pant up atop the glass pathways, looking down about 20 or 30 feet down to the passers-by below, some of which are now wearing pointy hats and carrying what appears to be like glowing enchanted objects of some kind, coming and going from a building over on the left side of the street. It is a very busy part of town. There's hustle and bustle everywhere, but there are a couple guards stationed around this particular building that people are coming and going from frequently. It appears to be a building of some importance. The glass pathway that you're on happens to wrap around the outside of it, and there are a couple windows that peer down into whatever this room is. Isabella immediately, excitedly begins leading you that direction, towards the windows. We're not really supposed to...
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Let's
go ahead.
go. No, what were you saying?
we're not really supposed to be up here or around here, but I like to watch them do the enchantments at the Spellforge. It is, well, it's where we do a lot of our powerful enchantments. And she leads you to the window where you can peer down into this room. As you get closer once again, the overwhelming feeling of magic continues to grow stronger once again, as it was in that cave. It is a very similar feeling, as though the small invisible strands of magic that weave throughout the world are getting thicker and more difficult to push through without causing disturbances. It's an overwhelming feeling as you draw near. And then
Oh my.
you hear a voice over your shoulder. It says, "Oh, this one might be tricky." It's the Wanderer's
said-
voice.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, who said that? Wait, so what did the Wanderers say?
He said, this one might be tricky.
I take a glance over my shoulder, but I do it in a way I don't think she'll notice.
There's no one there. You look down with Isabella into this chamber, and what you see is just walls upon walls of magical items that are basically kind of being moved along an assembly line. All kinds of magical gear and enchantments, or all kind of magical machinery and little objects are helping to like move the path along, and the objects that are being queued for enchantment are being brought in. Some wizards are kind of doing some kind of magic, and in the very center of the room there's a large, what seems to be a large basin of water and a forge with just a giant anvil. It's just like a whole bunch of forging implements, but they're all just glowing with magic, and there's a flow of magic going around in a circle across the pool of water in the middle of the room. And there are a few crystals scattered about as well that seem to be focusing the magic and kind of channeling it inward into certain points. For example, there are 3 crystals that are on the pointy end of the anvil and the 2 parts of the square end of the anvil, and they channel the energy towards the central point where the actual beating is happening of the metal, infusing it with magic with every beat of the metal upon the enchanted location. So with every action happening in this building, it seems that there is just a incredible amount of care and precision being poured into the products being made to be shipped out elsewhere into the world. And there are a fair few that seem to be one-of-a-kind items, as well as ones that are, being produced by the dozens, like shields for the guards of Lunimus, as well as, more curious clockwork designs, perhaps commissioned by someone else. So Isabella just kind of sits there, her eyes still wide as they were when the first time she saw it, and she just watches the things go by and the mechanisms going off here and there. I can't really explain what happens in there more than you can, but I like to watch it when no one's watching.
Huh. Are you going to work there?
Maybe someday. My mother wants me to be a cleric to heal people and stay out of trouble, but I've always been more interested in, well, making my own mark on the world.
It's people's own job to stay out of trouble. They shouldn't be getting hurt, and once they stop, you won't have to be doing that anymore.
Oh man. I don't know if I like the way you think, but I think I do.
You don't know if you like the way I think what you think you do?
Well, I couldn't tell if you were saying you hope people get hurt, or if you're just saying they shouldn't have got hurt in the first place. I'm gonna go with I like the way you think, but I was also a little concerned.
I think if you tell them how to not get hurt, and you are like these artists, maybe you can make the big safety net, and so you won't have to heal them anymore.
I do like the way you think. I've decided now. What do you want to be when you take your place in the world?
I've never thought about having a place.
Well, everyone has a place in the world.
I thought... Not everyone.
What do you mean?
Some people live their whole lives in the forest.
Well, that's their place then. They still have a place. Not everyone has to deserve a place. Not everyone has to make a place that they carve out tooth and nail. You can just be you and choose to have the place that you have.
This has basically became a revelation arc for her.
I think my place is somewhere pretty.
This place is pretty.
Yeah, I want somewhere with these colors too.
This place has these colors.
She tried to convince me to be at this place. This place has these colors.
If you want, this can be your place.
I might like that.
Okay. I might like that too. Oh, whoa. And with that, let's transition. How long do you have, Kat, before you have to go? Just questioning.
I mean, I was planning to go at 8, but what time does it...
Okay, let's...
What, do you have something else planned?
Yes, very quickly. So, as you guys are wrapping up that conversation, one of the guards down on the ground, you know, just is on his usual patrol around the building. It seems like they've increased security due to recent events. And one of them is just kind of walking around, and he takes a glance up at the glass pathway that you're on in the alley between two buildings, and he just kind of crosses his arms. Isabella! Really? Do I have to tell you again? And she goes, we gotta go. And she just starts taking off down the glass pathway to a different building.
Alright, I take off with her.
Mm-hmm. You tear down the pathway, and you eventually reach a different warehouse that appears to be not in as good shape as the ones that you were just in. They're still
there people
fancy and
inside it?
decorated. Yeah, there are people inside it, so it seems to be some other kind of perhaps manufacturing building or storage warehouse. You're not exactly sure, but you, Isabella just kind of tears open a door on this glass pathway and gestures for you to go inside, and you both kind of run down the stairs past some people who are carrying sacks of objects, and they're
We're
just
giggling.
like, excuse me? Why? What? So you're just kind of causing havoc as you run out the exit. There's a couple people yelling in rage at you, but you don't really stop, and nobody comes after you. It's just classic kids being kids. And then once you were panting once again in a different section of the town, Isabella stops for a moment and is looking in a weird direction after having been sitting and smiling at you. She kind of looks over your shoulder. That's weird. I've never seen anyone go in that building before. And
I look around quickly. Do I see like the end of a coattail or something?
yeah, you see the end of a pink tail, like a pointed tail, just enter into a building a couple houses down the street, and then the door closes behind it.
Let's go! I start walking over there, dragging her with me.
Whoa, okay. Oh, hey, thanks, phone. She's like, oh, okay, well.
Is there windows on it?
Yes, but they
We
are...
peer through the windows.
You try to peer through the windows, and you see that they're, like, pretty frosty. It looks like they haven't been cleaned in a while, so they're kind of, like, clouded up. There also appears to be, like, boards all on the inside of the windows, as though they've been disused for quite some time.
Wow. This place is kind of dusty. I put up my hood. Do you have a hat?
No, I don't usually go out with that. It doesn't rain too
Oh.
much here because of the, well, enchantment. We only let it rain wherever we need it to rain.
Okay. I reach for the door. Is it a turn handle or a push down?
It is a push down.
I push down it and see if it pushes down.
It appears to be locked. It goes clunk, clunk, clunk.
Oops. Knock. Knock, knock, knock. Knock.
You just hear a strange sound come from inside the door.
Can you demonstrate?
I don't know how well that came through Discord.
I didn't hear anything.
It was like a.
Whoa! Wow, I like that sound. Hello? Whoopsh.
Like Enderman whoops noise.
Ah!
And that might be where we'll have to call it for your section, and we'll leave
Do you
that
feel like
mystery for
I'm
next.
caught up with everybody else now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So whenever
Yeah.
whenever you and Carmen are back, we can hopefully have you two carry on.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed this session. I do have to go though.
Okay. Yep.
Okay,
See you,
bye-bye.
Kat. Have a good one.
Bye, Cat.
All right. Sorry for spending so long on her. I wanted to make sure we
It's all good.
covered her while she was here. So now we return back to Qzeth and Mama Swizzle, and Shadow, of course, on their way down the road. It's a lovely forest path on the way to New Thunder Tree. You have the river on your right intermittently. Here and there it disappears further into the forest and then comes back depending on how close or far the river has meandered in comparison to the path. And yeah, nothing really bothers you. There's some wildlife that you see here and there. You're still on the, even after so many years, it's still kind of a wild zone out here. It's been industrialized. Westwood was a large metropolis that you were leaving, but even so, this area still has a lot of nature and untamed area of forest. Even the place New Thunder Tree that you are going is built upon ruins of an older civilization, which in and of itself was built upon ruins of an older civilization. So there's plenty of history around, and as you walk through the forest, you pass large boulders, ancient caves, occasionally a ruin here or there. As you're going, do you have anything that you would like to talk about? Anything you would like to do? Anything that catches your interest as you see different wildlife and plants?
Well,
Shadow
how much
happily
can you
eats
really do,
sausages.
Ray?
Oh, what? Huh?
I was gonna say, how much can you really do?
Mama Swizzle's just pointing at flowers as you got.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
on the road.
Well, my idea can go along with that. I was going to be doing I Spy, so QZ is like, I spy with my little eye something white and yellow, and then Mama Swizzle's just pointing at things.
Yep.
How does that make Shadow feel?
Shadow what's your walking order? Is he like kind of plodding ahead, leading the way, or is he...
Yes, he is.
Okay.
And then it's QZ, and then I think Mama Swizzle, kind of side by side. But I think Shadow's only like we're kind of like in a little triangle formation, I imagine, with Shadow just like maybe a step or two in front of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He does not respond to you starting this.
Mhm.
He, if anything, stiffens. Like, you see his shoulders just kind of rise a little bit after, your third round or so. Just like, but you can't see his face.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're just kind of hiking along. Do you want us to like roll the D100 to see if we have any random encounters?
In a minute. First, I would like to say, QZeth and Mama Swizzle, you hear some like weak flapping and thumping coming from Mama Swizzle's bag. Sounds Mama Swizzle to you because you've rolled your intelligence check and attuned to the item, you can kind of tell it's like moans of pain from Rusty.
Mama Swizzle! I take Rusty out of my bag and I pat him on his bent head.
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts so much. I'm in a lot of pain. Please, can you like reforge me or something? Fix me, take me to anywhere. Just like reforge me into a sword or something cool. I used to be something great, and now I'm just kind of flat. This hurts real bad.
Mama Swizzle puts him on her, bends him a little bit and puts him on her shoulder.
Don't do that again. Oh, that felt. Oh, I don't even want to describe how that felt. Oh, man.
Doesn't sound like good.
You can still understand me, right? Even when I'm like this?
I nod.
Oh, you're wobbling me around. Why? You know, I don't know how it came to this. It wasn't supposed to be like this way when I signed up for this.
Mama Swizzle shrugs.
QZs, would you like to make a intelligence check, by the way, to see if you can finally understand exactly what's happening? Like, detect the pattern of these thunks and understand what
just
he's saying?
default intelligence.
Yeah, just roll the intelligence check.
4.
Oh my god.
Clank, 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 clank.
Okay, well, I guess this is the Mama Swizzle and Rusty conversation then. So the helmet says, you know, wait, so what was the last thing you said? You just shrugged?
Yeah, I shrugged after bending him in such a way that I could fit him on my right shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe stop bending me. Maybe just, like, leave me be and help me talk about something to take my mind off of the immense excruciating pain surging through every bit of iron in my body.
Mama Swizzle, Mama Swizzle.
Could you describe what those Mama Squizzles were supposed to be?
Oh, he can understand me?
He's gonna try.
Okay,
He's
so...
proficient in talking without talking.
She said that we can talk about whatever you want.
Okay. He responds, can we talk about history?
Mama Swizzle? History? Question mark.
Yeah, history. I'm a piece of metal. I've been around for a long time. I've seen like an age and a half of empires rise and fall, and it's a lot. You have any questions about the world and about anything like that, or the ruins that we're passing here and there?
Okay, instead of saying Mama Swizzle, I'm just going to speak normally, but it's Mama Swizzle 2.
Yep.
Pumpkin's character.
Yeah, no. Well,
And QZ,
So-
if you want to ever respond and be like, why are you Mama Swizzling so much, you can.
QZ thinks that he understands everything that Mama Swizzle says. You keep on forgetting this.
That's
QZ
so
thinks
funny to me.
that he understands Mama
Oh,
Swizzle.
so he's having his
he's
own
playing I
conversation.
Spy. He's playing I Spy. Mama Swizzle is guessing things, and he's just gonna be like, nope, nope, nope.
Oh my
You
lord.
keep on forgetting QZ thinks he understands Mama Swizzle.
That's freaking hilarious.
It is hilarious. What about the place we're heading to?
Ah, New Thunder Tree. Well, I've never actually been there. I've actually been, well, stuck in that cave for the past 100 years before you found me, so can't tell you much about modern history, but I can tell you more about, like, ancient stuff.
Why were you stuck in that cave?
Well, an adventurer lost me there, after I was taken from a shrine where I was worshipped for being some kind of oracle. I had answers that other people didn't know. And then, before that, I was lost in the ocean before I washed up on shore after some dude just chucked me in the ocean. That was fun. Spent a long time. That's why I'm so rusty, by the way. Seawater does wonders for the... Yeah, we're talking about my pain again. Ouch. Let's talk about maybe not that part. I used to, before I was a helmet. Well, before I was a helmet, and before the previous thing I used to actually be a great elven king, the majestic King Boltoneus.
What happened to you?
Well, that's a long story, but I guess the short of it is I stood with the ancient dwarves against the goblin hordes of Osmedar, but I fell in the battle. And the dwarves could do little to save me other than forging my soul into the great blade Talonmar, so that I may forever defend my kingdom. Well, I
It's
certainly...
like the ultimate Tin Man story.
Yeah. I certainly would have preferred to have been forged into like some cool metal body so that I could have actually moved around and on my own and, you know, done stuff of my own accord, but hey, you take what you can get. So I was wielded across the centuries, and I've been tossed and turned by time, witnessing calamities and, well, chilling at the bottom of oceans for a while, all the fun stuff. Most people don't even bother to attune to me, though, enough to understand me, so they just treat me like a piece of enchanted metal and reforge me over and over into various pieces of armor, and diluting my soul a little bit, time by time, as the metal is reworked. It's pretty horrible, actually, but at least I've been rebooted into something other than a boot this time.
Very funny.
Thank you. I try to keep my sense of humor. It's the last thing I have at this point. How are things with you? How's your life been?
Well, if you haven't noticed by now, my fingers are starting to turn to stone.
Oh, I
I'm a
didn't
little
notice
worried.
that. I don't actually
Easy
have
to
eyeballs.
understands that. I'm just joking. He's just like, what? What do you mean your fingers are turning? No.
He says, "Oh, I hadn't noticed that actually. What happened there?"
I met some kind of black raven or whatever that thing was in another dimension.
Hmm.
It touched me and I started turning to stone slowly.
Oh, that sounds horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Raven in another dimension sounds familiar. That's...
Oh, does it?
Well, kind of. I think there was like some cult a long time ago that used to worship the Raven Queen. It's been a while. I never was involved with that part of history. I just kind of heard stories from afar. So, unfortunately, I don't know too much about it, or perhaps a library would shed some light on that? I don't know.
Where
Yeah.
we're going, is there a library?
Heck if I know. I mean, the old Thunder Tree did have a library, but, well, Thunder Tree became ruined, so let's hope New Thunder Tree does.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I hear it's a port town, so it's probably got a fair bit of merchants and trade routes going up and down the river. Yeah, I'm sure they've got at least some form of knowledge, depending on how advanced of a town it is.
Well, sounds good.
Yeah.
So earlier you said reforge you. Do you really want to be reforged?
Oh, yes, please. Into anything else than being a helmet. It's just
What
been...
do you want to be?
Well, I liked being a sword, but, I mean, whatever you need, really. I'd just be thrilled to not be rusty and bending and breaking anymore.
Well, what about your soul?
Oh well. Perhaps forging my soul into an object was a mistake to begin with. Maybe if I faded away, it would be for the best. I could go on to the next phase of eternity.
You know, on my long years of travel, I heard that there's this interesting inventor somewhere out there who could probably forge you a body and keep your soul.
Really? What's his name?
Though I've also been told he's quite mad, so
Okay. Well, if you could get me to him, that would be helpful, maybe. Or, but I don't know how long that would take. Can you just forge me into just an ingot and save me for later, maybe? That would be nice too. And I could just at least be at peace.
but what if forging you into an ingot completely shatters your soul this time?
Well, I think an ingot would be less likely to lose my soul because I would be all contained in one place. If I were to be melted down and then split out into a bunch of different component pieces, like chainmail armor or something, now that might scatter the last bits of my soul too many places to be whole again. I don't know.
Alright, sounds like we'll do that in the next town.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Just ask to borrow their blacksmith for a bit and beat the snot out of me. That would be great. Like, you don't know how bad this feels. Thank you for talking to me, though. It helps take my mind off it.
Of course, of course. At least you can understand me.
Yes, yes. Do you have any more history you want to talk about? Like, I have all kinds of stories. I could talk about before the moon arrived. I could talk about, like, the calamity that wiped out the civilization here.
I think at this point, Mama Swizzle and the helmet could just be chatting the entire time. I don't want Pumpkin sitting there, so I'm doing
You're
nothing.
doing schoolwork. Like, take your time.
Oh.
Fair enough. So, Mama Swizzle and the helmet, or what's left of a helmet, continue to chit-chat about history. Mama Swizzle probably telling him at some point that, oh yeah, you know, I've actually been around for quite some time as well, etc., etc., and, you know, they can trade stories about their experiences.
Two old souls.
Yeah, basically.
Yep. Shadow eventually kind of stops in the middle of the road and just lets Mama Swizzle bump into his back.
Mama Swizzle?
Can you please shut up that infernal thwapping?
Mama Swizzle and I were playing a game. You were welcome to join in.
I meant the metal. What is the metal noise? That's even worse than the... I should just get earplugs. He turns and continues walking.
So, QZ didn't even... Did QZ not even hear the metal noise, or did you just not
No.
understand the metal noise?
He heard the metal noise, he just didn't
Okay.
understand it.
Okay.
So that he might have heard like some flap 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 a flap flump thump.
Yeah.
Etc.
Okay. What time is it right now? Like, is it getting
Oh.
late? How far have we traveled?
Well, how far do you want to have traveled? It depends on how much time
All
you'd
the
like
way
to have
there.
wasted. Okay, if you want to just skip to the end of there, then yeah, sure. I would have you roll me a d100 just to see if anything
Yeah.
encounters you on the way. No, just one of you. Choose who you're gonna have roll for the group.
Okay, you have the honor since you can talk.
I mean, it's a 98.
Okay, interesting.
It's like almost the opposite number the cat rolled.
Okay. As you're going, you encounter what appears to be a patch of weeds on the road. They're bright red, and they seem to be moving a little bit.
Mama Swizzle thinks they're herbs, so she tries to pick them.
As you reach down to pick them, they skitter out of the way of your hand, leaving a patch of path once again, dirt road. Just like around your hand, so they remain like about a foot away from your hand. And then if you move again, they move once again a foot away from your hand.
Whoa, that's freaky, Mama Sizzle.
She's a plant bender.
I kind of call for Shadow to stop. Shadow, look at these weeds Mama Sizzle found.
I'm not smoking it, if that's what you're asking.
No, not weed, weeds.
I stand by my statement.
Anyway, look, as she moves her hand towards them, they move away.
I can see that.
What do you think is the cause?
Frankly, I don't care, but I don't know. If you want to mess around with the dirt, I'm willing to take a break for a moment. And he kind of leans up against a tree just off the path.
Mama Swizzle takes that as an invitation and starts playing with the weeds.
Yeah.
Well, I would have been fine continuing, but Brick seems fine as well. We could all probably use some water. I think I heard a stream a little back. I might run and fill some canteens.
Yeah, the river remains pretty close to your right the whole way as you travel.
Right.
So, yeah, within, 100 feet of walking, you can easily find the river. It's flowing rather fast, and the water is cool.
I'll fill up all our canteens if they handed them to me, and then join back with them.
Yep. Mama Spizzle, would you like to roll me perception or investigation, your choice, as you're, I guess, checking out these weeds?
Alright. Go to do perception with a +7. That would be a 21.
Whoa, nice. You can see that as you're, if you look with your eyes very close to the ground, you can see that each of these little blades of grass, kind of what they look like, grows 2 little tiny legs and, stands up and runs and then plops back down on the ground as your hand is getting close. When you move your hand through it, the little patch of reeds kind of move as a unit, more or less. They never have one get separated. Say, if you have, if you go like this around a part of it, it never allows itself to be separated out in a little clump. They always kind of merge with the rest of the group and maintain one cohesive unit. If you want to investigate their smell, they seem like they have a scent of mushroom, more or less.
Mama Swizzle's mouth is drooling now.
Would you like to try to capture some of these, or
Yes.
cook them in some way? Okay. What's your plan? What would you like to do?
Let me see here. Items do I have?
Oh, boy.
I'd like to take my inkwell out and pour the ink out, and then try to use my inkwell to capture them into my jar.
Okay. So the tiny little inkwell, you're emptying it, and then you're trying to scare them into it?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds fair.
Do you put it on the ground and then try to scare them into it, or do you hold it
Yeah,
in your hand and...
Yeah, I hold it in my hand, and I use my other hand to try to scoot them into it.
Okay. They seem just as frightened of your hand that's holding the inkwell as they are of your hand that's trying to wave them towards it. So they just kind of and they scoot the other direction, away from your chest.
I'll use Druidcraft to make it smell really good there to them.
What scent?
Scent of mushrooms.
So you make
the
it
scent that
smell
they,
like them.
yes,
Interesting.
make them think that they left someone behind.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll say that as you... Are you still holding it in your hand, or did you put it down?
I put it down this time.
Okay, I'll say that the group start, if you keep up this scent like continuously with your druid craft, they instead of becoming or maintaining their like clump-like group of weeds, they kind of begin to decohere a little bit and wander off a little bit. One of which slowly begins to check out your inkwell. If you're making the smell seem like it's emanating from within there, it'll just go ahead and fall in, and then a second one, and then a third. They're all small and they're long, grassy, but they're slowly beginning to fall in a few at a time into your inkwell. The ones that do fall, however, begin to panic, feeling a hard glass beneath their little tiny feeties instead of the dirt that they're used to, and their long grass-like tops are just kind of flapping against the lid of the jar or the neck of the bottle. So they're just kind of like, it's quickly becoming a whirlwind of them trying to jump and crawl all over each other, trying to get out, and you've only got like 15 maybe that are in there, but they're kind of blocking the entrance and causing chaos that's beginning to stir up the others.
I quickly try to close the jar.
Okay, you tilt the bottle up and slap the cork on, and they're now like, yeah, they're panicking. You look inside the jar and there's just like a whirlwind of, it's like a tossed salad of red. It's actively tossing itself.
Mama Swizzle's so proud of herself, she runs up to QZ and just points at it. Mama Swizzle, Mama Swizzle, Mama Swizzle.
Probably as QZ is like walking back from getting the water.
Yeah.
Ah, you got it. That's impressive, Mama Sizzle. Well, I guess hang on to it. Don't know what it is, but maybe we can find that out along our way.
Mama Swizzle.
Mm-hmm. You begin to hear a shrill from the bottle.
Mama Swizzle just ignores it and puts it in her sock and then into her bag.
Wait, Mama Swizzle, I think it was screaming.
Mama Swizzle shakes her head no.
Mama Swizzle, take it back out. Listen close.
Mama Swizzle starts walking.
Shadow watches you go. As long as it doesn't have a mother that's gonna come stomping by and try to eat us, I don't care.
Well, ideally, us listening to it would... We'll figure it out later. And QZ walks along as well.
Mm-hmm. Are you going along the same path, Mama Swizzle, just parting the Red Sea with your feet?
Yeah. I assume that we just started moving again, past back the canteens and stuff.
Yep. So you go ahead and pass straight through the sea of red once again. It parts and leaves each of your footsteps clear as you walk past, and then without too many steps you're past the patch and you continue on your way. The ruins of New Thundertree come up just before the town itself. There are ruined buildings that look like they've been made of stone, possibly centuries ago, and are mostly dilapidated and collapsed. Doesn't seem to be much of interest anymore, just the relics of a time long past, statues that have fallen, faces that have been worn, and symbols that are pretty much unreadable at this point. You pass the graveyard with stones that can't be deciphered any longer, and a fountain that no longer has any water in it. Seems like it's probably already been looted, probably hundreds of times as people have passed by this path, but it is pretty nonetheless. Eerie, but pretty as the autumn leaves color the, well, bleak ghost town. The wildlife have made this place their home once again. Birds are chirping and nesting in all the various nooks and crannies. And with that, you pass through the ruins and make your way to New Thunder Tree, the port town that is just beyond. So, you guys have made it to the town. You see the sparkling lights as you arrive near evening time. It's about 7 p.m.-ish. Sun is just nearing the horizon, and people are mostly heading towards taverns and home and such places as that. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I guess we'd have to find an inn, place to sleep for the night. So, can
believe I called
roll?
it the Rat's Nest Inn. I believe that's where you told your friend to meet you at.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't remember for sure 100% if that's the name. That's what I wanted to review my notes on.
That's
but
what it will be.
yeah, that's what it's gonna be for now.
Yeah. Isn't that like a sketchy inn though?
I mean, aren't all inns just a little sketchy?
Yeah. Whatever.
Mix of sketch and
It has to fit
home.
for Shadow anyway.
Yeah,
So
fair
yeah,
enough.
we'll try and make my way there.
Sure. You push.
I know an inn here that we can spend the night at.
Very well. I just hope it's comfortable.
It's an inn.
Yeah.
And we go there.
Actually, you probably would have said discreet, more so than comfortable. I think this guy cares about comfort. Anyway, so you make your way quickly through the town, passing by various shopkeepers as they're peddling their wares and closing up their shops for the night. There are a couple street vendors still trying to make a buck, but deciding that it's probably close to quitting time and heading for the tavern with what little money they've got. You make your way to the tavern, and, well, when you make it there, go ahead and roll me perception.
Cool.
Of course.
Yeah.
Seven.
You're really...
17.
Why do I even make you roll? It's just
It's just
stunting the story.
it's just the true random of D&D.
You're right, you're
beyond dice.
Dirty 24.
Holy cow! Okay. So, QZ, you look around, your eyes kind of scanning across the Tabaxis, the Triton, the various races that you see from all walks of life, and you're trying to look for your friend, but amidst all the chaos, it's a pretty lively crowd tonight. There's even a bard on the stage kind of playing some kind of music, trying to rile up the crowd and get a few coins tossed his way. Amidst all the nonsense gamblers in the corner. And there's even a couple people playing what looks like a dice game, perhaps even like with some little miniatures. You don't see your friend just on the initial glance, with all the people getting up and sitting down and getting drinks from the bar and settling down again. Mama Swizzle, however, you notice you notice a lot of different people, same types of people that I described. However, maybe you don't know what the target is that you're looking for. You notice a tall elven woman sitting in one of the back corners, trying to defend what little space she can carve out for herself, as other people are in the booth near her, but clearly she's not trying to associate with them. She's got like a bun in her hair and a silver dress, and she's just kind of looking perturbed with life. You see in another corner a dark hooded figure who's like large, hulking, maybe 8 feet tall if he were to stand, but he's like trying to maintain discretion as well. So there's a couple figures that kind of look like they're trying to avoid all the hustle and bustle and crazy shenanigans that normal tavern folk would participate in their day-to-days. What would you guys like to do?
Mama Swizzle tries tugging Cusith towards the big, tall, discreet one.
Um, one moment, Mama Swizzle. Let's try and get a room first before we talk to any of these people. I don't see my friend.
Mama Swizzle tries pointing at the big, discreet one.
If you, yeah, you can definitely see him if she points him out to you. You see the big.
Sure, but am I gonna pay attention to Mama Swizzle?
Roll a D100 to find out.
That is up to you.
No, I would've on the second try, I think. Yeah.
It looks like that's your friend, Gohan, the big Goliath dude.
Oh, Mama Swizzle, how'd you know that was Gohan?
Mama Swizzle just acts like she knows everything.
Well, I'm glad he made it. Let's go talk.
Mama Swizzle.
He similarly has carved out just a tiny bit of privacy in this crowded inn. He's got one of the corner seats, as I mentioned, a little booth where there's seats beside him, cushioned seats for you to slip in with as well, if you'd like. He's kind of like hunched over a tankard of ale that looks comically too small for him, considering his large size. And he's just kind of looking down, trying to like avoid attention as much as possible and not show his face. But as you approach, you definitely notice like his large muscled arms that are covered in Goliath tattoos, his gray skin. It's unmistakable that this is definitely Gohan, your friend. He doesn't notice you as you approach because, you know, he's looking down. Would you like to call out to him first or just sit beside him?
Cusith has the urge to call out for him, but he like contains that and walks up to him and or walks up to the table and places his hands down and says, "Go on."
Hold on. What was he gonna say?
You lost DJ's train of thought.
No, I had a name that I was gonna say, but I forgot it. So, Birdling, it is so good to see you. And he kind of stands and put an arm around you, like pats
Yeah,
you
like
a little too
brings
hard.
my neck right down.
Yeah.
Like I'm standing, so he just like grabs.
Yeah,
That's good.
he kind of pats you a little too hard. You know,
Mhm.
thieves. He's rough around the edges, so
Mhm.
he's got a gruff. Yeah, whatever. Go ahead.
Yes, it's good to see you as well. And like the feathers are kind of like fluffed up, you know,
Mhm.
like And when he lets me go, I start to like groom myself a little bit.
Mm-hmm. He sits back down and scoots over, patting the seat beside him. Come. It is.
Mama
Good to see you,
Swizzle
friend.
takes the seat before Cusith sits down.
Oh. Who is your friend?
Yes, these are two friends journeying with me. This is Mama Swizzle.
Mama Swizzle.
That's mostly all of what she says, but you know, it's pretty easy to understand once you've gotten to know her for a little bit of time. And my other friend here, Shadow, we
Oh, your camera turned into a bunch of white streaks all of a sudden.
Oh,
I was surprised.
that must have just been the connection.
I guess so. I don't know if it's my end or yours. I was panicking for a second.
Nothing happened with my camera at my end at least.
Cool. Well, I can still hear you. That's what's important.
Yeah. But yes, this is Shadow. And well, we need your help.
I need yours too. That's why I was so hasty to come here. Ugh. It's good to see your face, as I was saying. At least your face being still breathing. Our old comrades, Andre and Mithki, they are no more. They were hunted down recently.
I don't want to hear about them. You know I've been trying to leave this in the past.
Well, I thought you might like to know our old friends, well, co-workers. Yes, I suppose you didn't have a good time with them. But I just wanted to warn you, at least, that our old crew was being hunted down one by one, and well, I had to run to avoid being found out.
Hunted down by who?
Heck if I know. All I know is Astley is dead, our old employer. He kind of clarifies for Mama Swizzle, our old boss. He is dead, and he tried to ask all of us, he contacted us all to do one last job for him, and, well, then all the people that knew him seemed to start dropping like flies, so I got out of there while I could. As far as I know, I'm the last one left. Well, you got out early, so you were spared.
Well, I got kicked out.
Fair enough. I still was never on board with that vote. Just so you know.
Doesn't matter. I know. And I trust you still, nonetheless. And this news, it's quite shocking. What
Yes.
was the job?
He said it was something about working for a fancy rich guy, doing something that would pay really well, but I was preoccupied, so I had to turn him down. Instead, I, well, did something else, and apparently that's what spared me this far. Even so, whoever's hunting our old crew down, they seem to have done a little bit of homework, and that's why I was thrilled to get away from home for as long as possible. I left nothing behind. I have thought about tracking you down and crashing at your old monastery, but I figured they would frown upon me for doing as such.
They're very welcoming. But you would have to enter the right way, which I take it was not your intention.
I definitely would have crashed the party a little bit if that's what you're meaning, but I decided against it because I didn't want to disrupt your new life you were building for yourself. How have things been, by the way? Hopefully better than mine.
Well, that's mostly what we needed your help for. It's been a little crazy.
Yes, I
kind
got your
of-
message, something about a great power. It was very incoherent.
Yeah,
Your handwriting. Well, your handwriting's fine, but your sentence structure needs a little work. It is even worse than mine.
I was never taught how to write.
I know. I'm sorry. We taught you thieves can't before you could walk, and now you're very sorry.
The vocabularies are just completely different. Like it's.
I know.
A
I
little
know.
bit
It's
angry.
okay. It's okay. Just take your time. I'm sorry.
But no. Well, kind of stopped the end of the world, or what Shadow was trying to be the end of the world. Long story. I saved them, and now they're our friend, and we're just trying to figure out what went on. There, a lot of craziness happened. I might need to start more from the beginning. And then can we just say that it's safe that I explain the
Sure.
gist of the
Well, we've
events?
got all night. Cheers to a good explanation. I would offer to buy you a drink, but I spent my last coin on this.
That's fine. Do we have the place for the night?
Well, I bought a room for me. If you don't mind squishing into a small room, you can have the floor. I think that might be the best offer you get, considering how crowded it is.
I do agree. Besides, I think we're a little bit short on coin.
Yeah, you don't have any. Shadow might, but you haven't asked. Mama Swizzle, how many you got?
I keep on getting money and then immediately spending all of it. I asked the Swinfers for money to send a letter.
Yes,
and then
you needed 3
don't
gold. You asked for 3 gold. You're
more
done.
for the trip.
Yeah,
For the trip. Don't.
that's really
He
funny.
keeps on forgetting that
Oh
money
yeah,
is a thing.
money's helpful. Oh well.
Because like he just never lived a life where money was important.
He grew up with thieves, and he doesn't
He
care
grew
about
up
money.
with thieves, and then he moved into a monastery
Yeah,
where
fair enough.
everything was provided for him.
Yeah. So yeah.
Mama Swizzle has 10, but she hardly ever spends anything because she tries to find all her stuff in the forests.
Gotcha. Yeah, you are. Oh, well, I don't know why I started talking. I didn't have a train of thought. Sorry. I guess I was just in DM mode. I was like, oh, I have to start speaking, and then I was like, wait, I don't actually have anything to say. Continue.
Well, yeah, so I think we just talk through the night about the events that went on, and how we need to go to, what is it, the Wizard's Tower?
It's called Colville's Ash. It's a old castle to the west, and Shadow
right,
says
castle.
he can get you there one way or another.
I knew I could rely on you.
It does sound dangerous, but if you're saying it's this or end of the world, or you said you already saved the world, so what more do you want?
Save the world for a brief bit. Don't know how long the threads are gonna be able to hold together.
Yeah, the world's always ending for one thing or another. Just enjoy life while you can. Try a drink. It'll loosen you up. Have you ever drunk before? You've drunk a couple times, haven't you?
I snuck some once. It didn't go well.
I see, that's what happened that night. I knew it! That girl.
Yes, but no, I don't drink any.
Well, as much as I am disappointed, I am also proud, little birdling. You always stuck to your guns.
QZ feels very happy to hear that. Yeah. I think we just talk through the night and eventually just head up to the room to sleep.
Shadow kind of remains there, pretty much looking like he doesn't want to be there as much as possible. He gives one-word answers the whole time. Anytime Gohan tries to like connect with him and ask him like what his story is, etc., he'll just kind of shut it down and like makes it very clear he doesn't want to be friendly. So Gohan's just kind of like suspicious increasingly as time goes on, but the conversation remains, you know, as decent as it can be in those
Yeah.
circumstances. If you'd like at any point to try to draw him in or get him to open up, you can. But that's like the general rule of how things would go, unless you
Yeah, I
intervene.
mean, I don't know what I would be able to do to get Shadow to open up anymore.
Mama Swizzle takes out her little cot creatures, and she just places it on the table and stares at it for the longest time while those guys are talking.
Okay. You see the little creatures all kind of huddled together on the opposite side of the jar, just kind of looking
Aw.
at you. They don't have eyes, but they're just kind of like all huddled together as far away from Mom Swizzle as possible.
Eventually I would notice this, so when I do, I'm just, Mama Swizzle, see, they're terrified. You can't hang on to them.
Mama Swizzle grabs it and brings it close to her bosom.
They like
QZ
tink against the glass, like ah.
tries to grab it from her.
Mama Swizzle actually snaps at him with her beak.
Mama Swizzle. QZ reaches with his other arm.
And she snaps again.
She's not trained very well, is she?
She is her own being, but can you
It's
talk
funny.
her
I said
to-
the same thing about you.
Can you try and convince her to let those things free? They're clearly terrified.
He takes his giant hulking form down to look in this tiny little jar. Oh, what are those?
Some type of
Oh, I
weed
don't
we
like
found
them.
on the way up here.
Why do you have them?
Well,
Mama
they...
Swizzle.
Yeah, exactly. They move and it's pretty cool. But Mama Swizzle, they are clearly their own being as well. So, they should have the ability to not be trapped in a jar.
Mama Swizzle opens the inkwell and takes one out and eats it in front of everyone.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh boy. Okay. So you open up the inkwell, and the tips of their little grassy heads poke out, but they can't like climb the glass to get out. So you just grab only one of them. Another is
Yep.
trying to hold on to him, like no, but he falls away, and so you just dangle him in your beak and snap closed.
Yep.
Okay, roll me a d100. He tastes almost like pasta as you're just kind of like mushing and like grinding him into a pulp. It stops moving almost immediately, and it's kind of tasteless.
78.
What?
78.
Okay, 1 second. Oh boy, I really need to pee.
Well, I think we're coming up on a stopping point anyway.
You're right. Why is this broken? Okay. 78. Oh. That is super dumb. Oh, wait. That was 68 I was looking for. Never mind! Haha! Okay. You feel fine for now. Just, it's even more filling than you expected it to be, considering it was like the thickness of grass, but it was, once you put it in your mouth, it seemed to be a little thicker. Actually, it's just like, instead of being paper thin, it was actually like a little thicker. But, so like, it looked like grass, but it's a little more filling than that. Yeah. So you've had a mouthful of mushroom at this point. And all the other ones that you have left alive are just like,
Yeah, like they just scream.
they're just screaming through the tiny little, like, the neck of the bottle that you've left open. They're like crying out in terror, trying to escape.
Yusith is gonna try and grab.
They begin to climb up each other, trying to like use each other's heads to like get up to the top.
Yusith, like, while Mama Swizzle is like eating it, is just gonna like shake out of like a shock and just grab it straight from Mama Swizzle.
Can Mama Swizzle try to keep him from doing that?
Yeah, roll me conflicting decks.
Dex.
$16.
19 plus 3. 3? Yeah, 3.
Mama Swizzle has it. It
I
jostles
feel like
it.
you should have had disadvantage from eating the mushroom, but okay. That's like the entire reason I was doing it then.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Do you want me to roll again?
I mean, if EJ didn't think that you needed it, then
Not
you probably
yet.
didn't.
Foreboding.
Exactly.
Yeah, she snatches the jar away, closes it, and puts it back into her sock and then into her bag again.
You are not to eat any more of that.
Mama Swizzle!
I think the conversation died for the night anyway. We'll all make our way up to bed.
Mama Swizzle.
Gladly.
She starts marching out of the inn.
This is our first fight. I'm sorry to do this in front of you two.
Shadow just kind of waves you off. I will not be staying on your floor with you tonight. I'll meet you in the morning. I'll camp in the woods.
Okay. Well, you've come with us this far, and I do trust you, Shadow.
Thank you. And he turns and he walks out the tavern door.
I think Mama Swizzle's going to camp out in a tree.
His last words as he leaves are, I'll meet you here tomorrow before dawn.
Yeah.
You said Mama Swizzle's gonna camp in a tree?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to.
She feels more comfortable out in nature.
Fair enough. It will be a less restful sleep being in a tree, unless you like put down some kind of padding against the hard.
Well, she
oak
does have
branches.
that bedroll that she has with her.
Fair enough. Okay. So if you roll that out and maybe take a couple twigs to kind of make a platform for yourself, so you're not just like in danger of constantly rolling off the edge during the night, then I will say yeah, you can get a full night's sleep, just as normal. If you do so, roll me a d100 just to see if anything bothers you in the night.
Alright. 10.
10. Oh, okay. Well, sounds good. We will resolve that next session.
Next time on D&D.
Exactly. But Qzeth and Gohan, you take the room, and it's comforting to hear the heavy breathing and almost borderline snoring of your old mentor once again as you drift off to sleep. Thanks for the session, guys. It was fun.
Yeah.
Cool. We will see what happens. Oh, my Mac is about to die. Whee! Perfect timing.
Good timing, yeah.
Well, that was fun. A lot of that I had to change my plans around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You expected us to not be so straightforward, eh?
Well, no, I expected Light to be here, so I expected everything to be different timing, different orders, different speeds of things happening.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm pleased with how things went, though. How about you?
Yeah,
I think it's quite enjoyable.
Very nice. Well, any closing comments? I don't know how to end things, so I always just like don't know what to say.
Yeah, I got you.
I really
I'm
enjoy
gonna
playing
head out.
D&D with you guys, though. It's real fun.
Yeah,
Thanks
it's
for
nice.
hanging.
I got some schoolwork to do, finish up, so I'll head out.
Enjoy your schoolwork.
See ya.
See ya. Did you see what I did with the helmet situation?
What?
Did you see what I did with the helmet situation?
What do you mean?
The conversation about reforging him. Are you okay? Are you dying?
Tickle in my throat. I don't know why. Just inexplicably, I suddenly was unable to breathe. I don't see your conversation. Where is this?
No. Did you see what I did with it?
What you did with it? I don't know what you mean. Oh, you mean foreshadowing your other dude? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course I see. Yeah. Good stuff.
I was thinking that maybe my other guy could inherit the ingot.
Yeah. Sounds good. I'm gonna go die real quick, but I will. I will see you later. Hey, thanks for hanging.
Don't die before the next session.
Well, I mean, unless I keep up my coughing fit for the next 2 weeks and then die right after it. If I die, it'll be before that. So.
Have a good one.
See ya.